It sort of typifies what's been happening apart from the French. Federer, Nadal, the Australian. Federer, Roddick at Wimbledon. A fitting finale, really.
It's a wonderful effort, isn't it?
It is supreme, sublime. Let's hope it doesn't end here. It ended, of course, quite abruptly in the French, but then he had led 2-1. He wasn't as fit as he is now. He was very unused to it.
Just over an hour longer, his path to the final through. Is that significant in any way, do you think, bearing in mind in, where was it, Cincinnati, he pulled out of the tournament citing fatigue?
Yeah, I think that was after the exertions of the previous week, and I don't think it's significant here because he hasn't really been involved in any cliffhangers. I think his longest match is 2 hours 37 minutes. Yes, he's been on court somewhat longer than Federer, but I don't think it's significant. And the fact that here he's come back from 2-1 down, I think is really to his benefit, which is not to say that he's the favourite going into this 5th set. I think Federer, of course, remains that. This is only the 5th time in his career that Del Potro will be playing a match that has gone the distance. He's 2-2 in matches that go to 5 sets. 29th match that Federer's played going to 5 sets. And he's won 16 of them.
He got himself into that mindset the last 10 minutes or so again, of just playing the moment, not the crowd, not the situation. He's had a bit of a roller coaster on that since this final began, Del Potro, and more so than when he served those 2 double faults in the 3rd set, of course, to concede it. But as Federer returns from his short break, it's a remarkable effort. His 14th major, his first final. Remember, I keep repeating it, but it's worth remembering. Federer, it took him 18 to win one. That was Wimbledon 2003. The rest we know. It's been a staggering record since then. 17 of his last 18 in the 24 majors since winning Wimbledon in 03. He's been in 19 finals and won 14 more. But this, a severe test, as it was against Roddick, so he'll take it all in his stride, Federer. He's got so many of the T-shirts for all the eventualities. This is all green for Del Potro at this level.
Yes, I think if it were Nadal playing Federer, it may be a different story, but Federer's mindset will be so very positive, I'm sure.
Potro, of course, to serve first in the 5th and final set. Anything slightly short in the middle is being dismissed.
Breaks a real run of service points for Del Potro. "15 straight points he'd won on serve. opening was there. We've seen Del Potro come in on that slice, single-handed slice before, and Federer passed him. Good approach though, good length.
He's built momentum and kept it. 1-love, fifth set.
And what I liked most about that game was Del Potro's moving of his feet. Federer hitting the ball back at him, and Del Potro quickly into position.
Serve percentage just sneaking over 53%, Federer, but look at Del Potro right up at 74%. And that's where he is in terms of points, one behind it too, Del Potro. Federer still impressive at 71% of points won, but only 50% overall in the match of first serves in.
Yes, that's nowhere near. I think I emphasized at the beginning of this match that I thought this would be a very different match because Federer serves so much better than Nadal. Thinking of the Nadal-Del Potro match. And with serves like that, I just figured that Del Potro wouldn't get into the game nearly enough. But with the percentage way down, where Federer's usually in the mid-60s, it's a very different story.
Goodness.
Well, it may be in the strike zone in baseball terms, but this is a home run. Beautiful hand-eye coordination, taking the ball early. Look at him now. He feels he can get to anything that Federer dishes up.
Federer that continues to miss. He's rattled, clearly. Great points. As soon as he gets a bit of width, it's dangerous, Del Potro off it, but
yes, Federer conjuring up a nice angle there. Some may have thought there were suggestions of a mishit, but I didn't see it that way. He meant to curl the ball, bounce it in the service block.
Oh. Made it. He's made so many, but none maybe as important as this one. The first break, fifth set.
But you just don't know how he's going to react in a situation like this. He's never been in this position before. He's never played a final. Never been in a 5-set match of this proportion. And to come up with a shot like that, quite outstanding. Good approach by Federer.
First clean winner from the back of the court off the backhand in the match.
No, I think he hasn't made many. And the backhand hasn't actually looked vulnerable.
No. Call from the chair, not the line judge.
Well, some people would call it slogging, but of course it's much more pure than that. It is just phenomenal hitting of the ball. Great contact being made.
Well, he gave him, what, a quarter of a chance? And Federer absolutely nails it.
Yes, now Potro not quite middling this, but even so, he's such a tall man to get this virtually past Del Potro. I think he's all right with the tumble here. May have hurt his right side just a wee bit. The tumble his father might have had as a semi-professional rugby player.
His first serve percentage is flying up the scale at the moment, taking a little bit off it.
And he gets a pretty good kick so that Federer can't land it deep in the court. Did that tumble upset him? Hell no.
No pain, no gain. Not a lot on that backhand with the error going. Great point. Keeping to the backhand, isn't he? Because he's not hurting at the moment. And just for the last few points, because he started the game with a beautiful down the liner, and then the pass as well, but the last couple, it's kind of a mixed bag.
Well, it says something with a player like Federer on the other side of the net. But when Del Potro gets a short ball like that, you just expect him to add to those 30-plus winners. It's a mighty shot.
And the ball was called out.
There's Del Potro indicating that it was out, and it certainly seemed it.
Quite a way. It is 3-love, fifth set. Juan Martin Del Potro.
Del Potro leads 3-1 final sets. Federer has 2 challenges remaining.
Your thoughts, Free?
Well, I'm just thinking of the reaction there might be in Argentina. I know I'm getting a little carried away here, but I mean, Vilas won here, and Gaudio won the French, beating Correa in the final there. But this will be huge. A win against Federer from an unlikely position. Federer 2-1 up, going for a 6th US Championship, US Open, where people thought he was invincible. And when he seemed invincible in the first set, where he really took the play to Del Potro, seemed to put Del Potro in his place, playing his first final. Argentina. Well,
ladies and gentlemen, ready for play.
There'll be a singing and dancing there forever.
Huge game this for Federer at love 3, 5th set. talk about handling the sort of mini disasters in a match. Second 5-4, 30 love Federer. Lost the second set on a breaker, and you think, uh-oh. And then Del Potro, 2 double faults to concede the third.
And yet we know the match remains very even with Del Potro a break up. I don't think I've ever been in a match with Federer serving 9 double faults. I believe it's 9.
Yep, it is. 15 in his 6 matches total coming in. He didn't serve 1 double fault against Tommy Robredo.
No, he's usually very sparing in that department, and of course that's one of the reasons why Del Potro is doing so well, is he's not served as he customarily does.
Must-win service game, duly held by Federer. Question again now being asked of Del Potro. Do you have the total belief and do you trust yourself enough to get this job done?
It's a big ask for the uninitiated.
(3-1), 5th set, Del Potro. He's got to try to dominate, because if he doesn't, he knows that Del Potro will. And can he risk missing more than making from the Argentine?
Stroke rally. Noticeable that Federer's cut out a lot of his earlier ploys where he was playing short, coming in, drop shotting, stop volleys, and he was really confusing Del Potro early on. Okay, he wins the point there, taking Del Potro on at his own game.
Constant barrage, it seems, to Federer's backhand. Serve and first big blow.
Well, he hasn't mishit many of those. Federer's done more of the mishitting.
Same pattern on the right court side. Now, will he go back to the forehand again to Federer here? As Federer really screams his frustration.
Yes, a shot really that he would usually make, because that wasn't Del Potro at full throttle. He played a little within himself. It was accurate, it was deep, but it was returnable.
Did go back to the backhand, yeah, and got reward.
That is poor by Federer standard. But at least Del Potro makes him play.
Yeah. And 4-1 lead, fifth set. Del Potro, he's just got to tell himself how he won that game. Serve to the backhand, big hit to the backhand. Federer couldn't deal with it in that game. So more of it, you would imagine, until he does.
Then changed the winning game, and it was noticeable too that he took quite a bit off the serve there. He was looking for three-quarter pace serves, controlling, just taking the pressure off. Yes, he missed a couple of first serves, but he hit more in than he missed. And Federer, again, as I was saying, not looking to break up the Del Potro game as he did in the first set, where he was playing the short shot, coming in a lot. Because Del Potro now, Federer might think, is so much more positive, so much more confident, and therefore perhaps Federer is a little wary of coming into the net against him. I'm not saying that it should be a chip and charge. All I'm saying is that the tactic from Federer is very different now. He really looked to unsettle Del Potro from the word go. Of course, at this stage of the match, it's difficult to do it.
So first port of call once more. Hold serve, Federer. Keep the fifth set as tight as possible. 1-4, fifth set. Double figures now on double faults.
And I'm sure he will mention his serve almost more than anything else. Win or lose this match.
Poor quality in that point on every stroke.
Beginning with the serve. It's almost as if he said, I've had enough of this. I'm just going to hit the cover off the ball and hope it goes in.
And he also looks loose. How can he be loose at 1-4 down in the fifth in a major final?
Yes, he's loose as a goose, as we say.
Good recovery from the double fault on the first point. Is Del Potro just saying, I'll just hold serve to win the title?
I'm sure he's not. He knows better than that. This ain't Chris Bradnam or Fru Macmillan he's playing against. This is Federer. Every first serve in after that double by Federer.
Now, do you think he will go in from what you were saying earlier? Do you think he'll try to get in a bit more?
I think he might. I think anything short he'll be looking to go in. But will he be playing those short shots? Just to draw Del Potro in against his will. He has to keep it low if he does. Plenty of advice for Federer, on first name terms with him, of course. He's almost hitting these at half speed, Del Potro. Catches Federer unawares there. Not often you see him lost for an answer. He's got his man on the back foot.
It's a love game from Del Potro. What he'd give for another. 5-2 fifth set. He's a game away from winning his first major in his first final against the greatest player of all time. And he looks pretty cool about it too.
He does. He's got a terrific attitude to the game. There's a humility about him as well. Can he do? Berdych had Federer 2 sets to love at the Australian. Haas had him 2 sets to love at the French. Roddick seemed to have him on toast, almost 2 sets to love up. Remember that 6-3 tiebreaker in the second? Almost 2 sets to love up in a marathon Wimbledon final. Can he do it? It looks like it. Signs weren't good from Federer there.
He's just got his, not only his head together, but obviously the game with it, Del Potro. Just making sure these first serves go in, because he's not getting punished off the serve, 3/4 pace first serves, because it's still pretty big. And it allows him to then dominate. And he almost forgot that that was pretty much his trademark that's got him through to the final.
Taken the pressure off the second serve, that's for sure, and it hasn't allowed Federer the luxury of doing damage on the second serve.
Federer fighting for survival in his 21st major final. He's 2-5 down, final set, having to hold serve to stay in it.
Whichever way this goes, it's a real story. It's a hell of a story.
Yes.
Beginning to falter more and more, and really the joy from Del Potro's point of view is his movement about the court. Nerves are not arresting him. You can be so proud of him. And of course they are.
2 points from the title, Del Potro. Federer could hold here. It would have been better if Federer had held to love. Backhand has started to fall apart. It's 2 championship points for Juan Martín del Potro.
And Franco Davin looks as cool as a cucumber as he's looked throughout. A mere 18-stroke rally. Do you think these guys want it or don't they?
30-40.
Well played, Federer. Finally, a decent first serve. Yeah.
There's virtually no back to the seats being used. He's made another huge forehand.
That is some strike, because Federer was motoring. Not only was he moving well, but hitting well. No suggestion of a miss-hit here at all by Federer.
Huge game.
In case you didn't see it, the ball on the first bounced back, didn't bounce over the net. So it was a fault first serve.
3rd championship point. He's got it! He's crying already, the 20-year-old. He's denied Federer US Open history. He has won the most titanic battle. It's a phenomenal story for Juan Martín del Potro. Just his 14th major. He wins his first major. Disbelief. What a great performance.
Finally, Davin cracks a smile, and boy, as I said, they are going to be dancing and hollering and hooping in Argentina. Just the most phenomenal achievement. 2 sets to 1 down. He seemed to be out of it. Federer had a set, 5-4 in the second, 30 love. He seemed all over Del Potro. First final, first major. You've got to feel for Federer. What a champion he's been. But what a champion this chap's proving to be.
Nadal, when he won the French in 2005, astounded everybody, winning it in just his 6th major. He's been astounding people all year. He had the most amazing half-court run here last year, coming into the US Open. He was 3rd in the US Open series. Coming into this, tears of joy for all the hard work, the camaraderie, the efforts of making him the player that he is, and yet still to improve and become.
That is huge, huge for South American tennis. Vilas, Gardio, and now Del Potro. And probably the best of them all to beat Federer. They will never forget it. Even if he doesn't win another match, this will live forever.
US Open champion 2009. We'll never know what would have happened if he'd had to serve at 5-3, having not converted the championship points. He got it done with a double break in the end.
Yes, I had visions of Roddick against Nalbandian. Nalbandian, another Argentine, had match points against Roddick. And Roddick went on to win the tournament. And I thought, my goodness, is this going to happen again? It's always possible with Federer and a chap who's inexperienced at this. Boy, you wouldn't have thought so, the way he turned that match around. And I think one of the saving graces for him was the fact that he said from the word go, this is the tournament that he wants to win. So the crowd didn't get on top of him. The fact that it was Federer's attempt going for his 6th, he believed that if there were a major that he could win, this would be the one to do it. Strangely enough, you'd have thought, well, surely it would be the clay of Paris, where he took Federer to 5. No, he kept convincing us and convincing himself that it was the US Open that he particularly wanted to win. A little bit like Andy Murray in England does. And what must they all be thinking?
The first serve percentage eventually settles at 50% for Federer. That, and of course the Del Potro attack, assault on the Federer backhand towards the back end of the match, maybe sowing the seeds of doubt that it was going to be Federer's day. And the way Del Potro came back from serving